For those who reside in Canterlot and have a taste for its nightlife, you may know of the mysterious bat pony. For those of you who do not know of this race, bat ponies are a subspecies of the Pegasi. Unlike their feathered cousins, the bat ponies have bony, leathery bat wings, special bat-like ears, a set of fangs, and unlike regular ponies who can speak Equestrian, they communicate with squeaks and high-pitched sounds. Of course, this has been fixed with the use of special enchanted collars that translate these sounds into normal speech, allowing them to communicate with regular ponies. Even though they speak differently, they can understand Equestrian speech and read Equestrian writing. Those who cannot afford enchanted collars will use notes to converse with regular ponies. Now, these are just regular bat ponies who are actually quite friendly and live on a diet of fruit and nectar. These ponies actually serve under Princess Luna as special guards and servants. They are a very rare sight due to their nomadic nature and nocturnal sleep cycle, though it is not unlikely that some will settle down and live in a large residential area. Vampire bat ponies, on the other hand, are another case entirely. They look similar to their cousins, but their nature is a complete opposite. They are in no way friendly and are extremely dangerous. They are a predator among ponies. Instead of a diet of fruit and nectar, they feed on the blood of ponies and animals. Unlike regular bat ponies, they can speak normally without the need of enchanted collars. To make them even more deadly, they contain a small amount of magic ability, giving them the power to hide their wings and ears along with their fangs. Their magic can even give them the option to turn a victim into one of them. Not only that, they can also move faster than a standard Pegasus and are stronger than even the most physically fit Earth pony. As if they weren't bad enough, they can also heal themselves by drinking blood. The healing process usually takes only a few minutes after a quick drink. More severe injuries can take a few hours. They can also possess a multitude of different powers aside from the base few, ranging from hypnosis to invisibility to even reading minds. Since they can blend within large crowds, they can be hard to track. Unless you spot their eyes, which sport a shade of blood red. This is one of the few drawbacks to a vampire bat pony. Not only that, but they are heavily weakened by sunlight, not killed like some legends say. Garlic may be able to hold them off, but hunters have never really been willing to test it. Silver, however, has been proven to harm them. After such a discovery, it has been common practice for vampire hunters to carry silver-bladed swords, daggers, axes, pikes, javelins, and spears. It is said that water, blessed with the magic of an alicorn who is pure of heart, can also harm these beasts, sometimes even stunning them for hours on end. Barriers of salt can keep them from entering one's dwelling, much like that of evil spirits. It is recommended when facing such a beast to keep them at a distance. It is very risky to face a vampire up close. The chances of survival can be close to nil. A crossbow with silver-tipped bolts is the best tool. They are quicker to load than regular bows and do not require a great deal of strength. If you cannot get your hooves on a crossbow, then the next best thing is a silver-tipped spear. If you do not have the option of ranged combat, it would be best to hide if possible. However, if you are feeling rather bold, a sword can do just as well for close encounters, though this is only recommended for the most skilled and agile of swordsmen. Regular swords, made of standard metals, will do very little to even scratch a vampire. Swords with blades crafted from silver are the most common way to combat these predators up close. The most effective minerals that can be used are arcane metals and materials such as imperial crystal or celestial shards. When in combat with a vampire, proper armor is needed when one is face to face with such a creature. Griffonite is a good strong metal to absorb the blows of a vampire and even withstand being torn apart by their razor-edged hooves. As strong as Griffonite is, it can also be quite heavy to lighter races of ponies such as Pegasi, who have naturally light frames. Earth ponies, being the strongest, are recommended to don this armor. For the more lighter races, a more practical armor would be a mix of mithril plating or even dragon scale. They are just as effective, if not less cumbersome. If no armor is available to you, it is recommended that you be in top physical condition, combined with a sharp, agile mind to maneuver around such a dangerous creature. If bitten by a vampire, you will feel ill and unable to resist the creature as their fangs release a type of toxin into your bloodstream. This toxin will spread throughout the victim's body within a matter of mere seconds. It is almost impossible to resist a vampire's bite. Once you are bitten, there is almost no hope of escape, that is, if no one comes to your rescue. It only takes up to several minutes for the body to dry up almost completely, as the average equine body only contains 50 litres of blood. The most clever and experienced of vampires will hide their victims or magically seal their bite marks by coating the wounds with their own saliva. This makes tracking down such a creature a difficult task, especially in urban environments. Skilled hunters will regularly expose themselves to the toxin in tiny doses daily to slowly gain immunity. To be able to obtain the toxin for such training purposes requires a painfully delicate procedure of extracting said substance from fangs of captured and subdued vampires. The feat of catching one of these beasts alive is no easy task and is quite risky. Keeping one contained is an even more tricky task of its own, as vampires are quite deceitful and cunning creatures. It is recommended that only the most seasoned of hunters attempt such a feat. It is also recommended to capture said creature with other hunters of equal or greater caliber. To try and capture such a creature alone is not impossible, but quite foolish. Now, if bitten but spared by a vampire, the outcome is much different. To the claim of most vampires, it is said to be a fate worse than death. If not completely drained of blood, you would feel ill like you would if you were being killed by a vampire. However, you would continue to feel ill to a point of total exhaustion and will enter a short coma lasting about 12 hours. When you have awoken, you will feel much stronger, faster, and even smarter than you ever were before. No longer would you feel ill or tire easily. You would have the strength of 10 stallions and the speed of the most agile Pegasus. You can see, hear, smell, and sense things far more effectively than the regular equine. No longer would you require weapons to defend yourself, as your hooves would be sharp as blades and as strong as diamonds. You would stay forever young and would never die of natural causes. Unlike regular ponies, who would grow weaker as they get older, you would grow stronger as the years go by. Eventually, you would be able to have a few new magical abilities to complement the ones you started out with in this new life. This sounds wonderful, doesn't it? The intoxicating power and the newfound freedom from mortality leaves you in complete ecstasy. It feels like a dream come true, until you realize weeks later that it is your own wide-awake nightmare. You will need to hunt to sustain your magical ability and your youthful appearance. If you do not, you will grow weak and it will become harder to hide in plain sight. Your newfound life of freedom soon becomes a prison in its own right, as you outlive loved ones, start to miss the joy of sunlight, and wish that you didn't see other ponies as nothing more than food. It's all a never-ending cycle of torture, night in, night out, hunt, feed, then hide, only to wake up the next night to repeat the cycle all over again. Blood is all you crave, blood is all you live for, blood is the only joy you have left. You scream internally as you wish you'd die, to be freed from this cursed lifestyle. What is left of the former pony inside you is impatiently waiting for the day that some pony comes to kill you, to finally put you down. You would do it yourself, but the beast that dwells inside, driven by pure animal instinct alone, refuses to betray its nature as a powerful nocturnal predator. The only way to put an end to such a life is for the hunter to be the hunted. Only then can such a creature find everlasting peace after an eternity of endless violence. However, there is a different option, though it will prove to be much harder. While there is no potion or spell to reverse vampirism, the only option is to kill the head vampire. They are known to other vampires as elders. Unlike regular vampires, these creatures are of natural birth. They are much stronger, faster, and smarter than the average blood-sucking beast. Elders also possess a wide variety of magic spells revolving around the dark arts. Such spells include necromancy and the summoning of evil spirits. They are taller than the regular vampire bat pony, as they equal the size of a young, lesser alicorn. The trouble with combating an elder is finding its weakness, as they do not possess the same weakness as the average vampire. To defeat an elder is no easy task, and must be taken on with a large group of hunters. Some elders are far more powerful than others, which is highly recommended that hunters do as much research and scouting as they can on their target before making a move. As elders are tougher than the average vampire, this does not mean that they are invincible. They can be killed, it's just a matter of finding the right equipment, and using the correct spells. The most effective tool against an elder is a sword made of imperial crystal, blessed with pure good alicorn magic and enchanted with a special rune that can only be crafted by some pony with over a millennia worth of experience. A very rare tool to find indeed. Though it is known that more experienced and better equipped bands of hunters will have at least one of these swords in their possession. Naturally, it will be reserved for the most skilled swordsmen in the group. If you cannot locate such components to construct this sword, there is another way. However, it would be more unlikely. If by any chance of sheer luck you were to be accompanied by an alicorn, there could be some glimmer of hope left to defeating the Elder. Alicorns possess the most pure and powerful of pony magic, and are the sworn enemy of Elder vampires. Once the Elder is defeated, any vampire connected to his or her bloodline will return back to their normal state before they were bitten. Even if cured of vampirism, it is very much possible to be bitten once again. However, if bitten a second time, it will take much longer for the transformation to take hold. You will also start from the very beginning again as a low-caliber vampire, that is, unless you are bitten by an Elder, to which you will be the second most powerful caliber. For more information on the Vampire Bad Pony, please read The Hunter's Handbook on the Vampire Menace by Princess Luna, as she is the original founder of organized vampire hunting within Equestria.